Today, we are going to show you how to disassemble your Force trolling motor for servicing the trolling motor mount components. We highly recommend having 2 people for this service work, as the pieces are heavy. Improper handling can lead to damaging the equipment as well as injury to yourself. If you're uncomfortable with performing any of the service work yourself, please visit www.garmin.com/dealers. This video will cover the same disassembly steps for multiple service replacements. You should use this video to get to the part that you will be replacing. Then, you will want to replace that part and watch the reassembly video. Make sure to keep all parts taken out in disassembly. First, we will want to disconnect the Force trolling motor from power. If you have a power plug, disassemble and remove it. Next, using a No. 1 Phillips screwdriver, remove the single screw that secures the upper tab of the cable bracket to the mount base, and then remove the bracket. Using a 3mm hex bit or wrench, remove the 4 screws that secure the 2 brackets to the mount on both sides of the cable channel. Next, pull the power cable out of the channel on the side of the mount. Disconnect the transducer cable from your chart plotter. Then, pull the transducer cable out of the channel. Now, we will disconnect the lower gas spring. Place the trolling motor in the stowed position. Using a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver, remove the screws that secure the lower gas spring clevis to the lower link of the mount. Lift the lower gas spring clevis off of the safety rod. Next, using a No. 0 Phillips screwdriver, remove the set screw that secures the gas spring pin to the shaft stabilizer on the mount. Slide out the gas spring pin and lift up on the gas spring to remove it. With the motor in the deployed position, disconnect the cable from the display panel on the upper link of the mount. Using a 4mm hex bit or wrench, remove a screw and washer from one side of the upper pin on the steering servo housing. Repeat this process on the opposite side. Remove the upper pin from the steering servo housing and pivot the upper link away. Make sure to not let the housing rotate forward, as this can cause the motor to hit a trailer or the ground, causing damage. Remove the bushings from the upper holes in the steering servo housing. Now, using a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver, remove the 2 screws that secure the upper gas spring clevis to the lower link of the mount. Then, lift the upper gas spring clevis off of the safety rod. Next, using a No. 0 Phillips screwdriver, remove the set screw that secures the gas spring pin to the shaft stabilizer on the mount. Slide out the gas spring pin and lift up on the gas spring to remove it. Now we will disconnect the steering servo housing from the lower link of the mount. We highly recommend having 2 people for this service work, as pieces are heavy. Improper handling can lead to damaging the equipment as well as injury to yourself. First, slide the safety rods away from the steering servo housing to release the lower pivot pin. Making sure that someone is supporting the weight of the steering servo, push the lower pin out from one side and then pull it to remove it completely. Place the steering servo down somewhere safe and out of the way. Next, we will remove the lower link from the mount base. Using needle nose pliers, disconnect the spring from the hook on the base of the gas spring. Using a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver, remove the pin covers from the side of the mount base. Push the pin out from one side and pull it to remove it from the mount base. Lift up to remove the lower link from the mount base. Next, we will remove the upper link from the mount base. Start by using an 8mm hex bit or wrench to loosen the 2 bolts that secure the upper link to the mount base. You may need to use a ratchet, as these are very tightly fastened at the factory. Remove the bolts, bushings, and washer from both sides of the upper link. And that's it. For more help, please visit marinesupport.garmin.com.